Welcome everybody to our strategy talk on buildings of the future. Today we are going to be talking about buildings of the future, a recovery powered by digital and electric. I hope that the quick video tour got you excited about some of the possibilities that technology can offer us today. My name is Luis da Costa, and with me today is Stephen Charlton, Principal Managing Director at Perkins & Will. Perkins & Will is a preeminent global and humanistic architectural design firm, and we have been working with them in several projects, including the new DAR London headquarters and Moorfields Eye Hospital. We have a great partnership because Stephen and his firm share our passion for creating buildings of the future that are sustainable, resilient, hyper-efficient, and people-centric. Welcome, Stephen. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself and your role at Perkins & Will.
Sure. As a prominent architect and interior design firm with offices globally, we are passionate about innovation, and this is what helps us stay relevant even after 75 plus years. But there is real disruption happening that will change how we look at buildings and the environment that we all live in. This is why it's so exciting to be working with 슈나이더 on our new London headquarters as we get to live and work in a living hackathon.
Last year, Schneider Electric launched our vision around buildings of the future. We knew that despite the challenges, we would one day again regain our footing inside offices, hotels, shopping centers, and other large spaces. That has started to happen already, and although the process is taking longer than anyone else anticipated, especially with the onset of the Delta variant, the key lessons I think we've all taken away from this difficult experience is that buildings, more than ever, need to be resilient. They need to be ready for the unexpected. So, Stephen, what are you seeing as you interact with your clients? Are they ready and eager to get occupants back into existing buildings? And what design lessons have you learned from this past 18 months? And what do we need to take into account as we plan for recovery and beyond?
I mean, obviously there's been huge disruption across our client group, whether it's private sector or public sector. But I think two key trends have really become quite sticky with our clients. And the first really is pandemic resilience. This undoubtedly won't be the last time we have to deal with a pandemic, which is, quite a sad thought. But as designers, we therefore have to think about the buildings that can cope with what we know now in terms of social distancing and fresh air and egress, because we need to have the ability to get people, staff or customers or residents in and out the buildings safely. So this resilience is key to how we design now. We need to be thinking about what if another one comes and when it comes, that everything doesn't shut down again. I think the second really strong trend that's come out is healthy buildings. In a somewhat sort of serendipitous way, the vast majority of our clients now understand that healthy buildings is not only the right thing to do, but their employees and guests for the buildings are going to insist on it. This environment needs to be in place to come back to in a post-pandemic world. We're seeing it this week as people re-enter the offices here in London. So today, when we talk about healthy buildings, Perkins & Will, we really define that as living design. So what we learned is a building must be adaptable, and we don't know what's around the corner. And all of the above is moving our designs and buildings to an extremely data-rich setting so that we can benchmark, we can establish baseline data sets, and we can refine our designs. And to do all that, we're not a software company, we're not a hardware company. We need partners like Schneider. We don't have the bandwidth or expertise to implement that by ourselves. And it's too great of a task for an individual company in this built environment to do. So we need to be helping each other and finding solutions for this.
That's really, really interesting. Thanks for sharing. it's clear that we need to reimagine the way that building space can and should be used for, but also what it could be used for in the future. One of the ways that we can do all this is really through harnessing digitalization and data to help us optimize the space for current and future uses. So, Stephen, what do you see in the future of building digitalization? How should we be utilizing digital to design, build, operate, maintain, and certify our buildings?
I mean, this is where we're going to see true disruption, in my opinion. We now have hardware and software capable of unlocking some of the most challenging scientific and mathematical conundrums known to man. And this creates insights that were unimaginable only a decade ago. In our built environment, the digital twin will help us redefine what a building is and how it should perform. By pulling real-time data from multiple sources relevant to the building, we're designing for all the factors that affect that building, whether it be weather, traffic, air quality, public transport, socioeconomic data. We can also use real-time data from other buildings, either from the same client or indeed from adjacent buildings, such as space utilizations and energy supply and demand. By overlaying all that data onto our digital building design, we can start looking at predictive analysis. We can start testing our theories about what the building should be and how it should perform, and then refine the scenarios and refine the design as we play around with the what-if scenarios. So we design for the humans in the building. That's what we do at Perkins & Will. That's what gets us out of bed in the morning. And then we work with companies like Schneider Electric to understand how the systems in the building affect those humans. And Schneider has the data to optimize the buildings, the power of the grid, the occupancy management of a building, which helps us to provide a better environment for the people living inside the building. We're doing this actually at the DAR headquarters, our headquarter building in London. We're pulling the data connected devices into software that then lets us aggregate and visualize that data back to us so we can see what's going on. We can see the data from the mechanical and electrical systems, and then we can take a step further with digital services that allow us to optimize the building environment for the occupants' health, for comfort and sustainability. We can also efficiently manage the space and provide a greater level of autonomy to our occupants through mobile apps, which provides a very humanistic experience while in the building. It's very personalized. Where this gets really interesting, though, is that the digital twin is updated along with all the other data sets as the design moves to construction and into the life cycle of the building. At that point, we move into a circular relationship with the building and the client. We don't step off. We maintain a relationship and we maintain an accurate model, a true digital twin, a reflection of what's happening in real life.
Excellent. That's fascinating. Digitalization is an essential and necessary ingredient as we work to build true buildings of the future, and it will unlock all sorts of new possibilities for efficiency and comfort. We also believe that electrification of buildings is going to be vitally important to achieving sustainability targets. There has been significant increase in countries committing to net zero 2050 goals, and many are now providing government stimulus and incentives to support those goals. So, Stephen, I know Perkins & Will has a deep commitment to sustainability. What is your guidance to your customers on how to achieve carbon neutrality, and how is your approach different for new builds versus retrofits and renovations?
Sure. I mean, at Perkins & Will, we're extremely focused on achieving net zero carbon targets in our buildings, whether it's new builds or retrofits or interiors. But we actually believe that 2050 is too far away as a target. 2030 is the latest our customers should be targeting. And that means in reality, we need to start planning no later than 2025 to achieve this. So we've actually called this net zero now. For new build clients, where the client has requested it, if they requested it or not, we provide a costed design solution that shows them how to achieve operational carbon neutrality in the buildings in a relatively low cost, even cost neutral way. We want to show them how to achieve this. And for the interiors of a project, we're working on a how to solve the embodied carbon problem. And that part involves creating a reusable materials inventory. A building becomes a material bank, if you will. That means the materials used to make the building and inside the building get asset tagged and go into a virtual material bank for use in new projects. Example, when a building has served its purpose and it's the end of its life, you can use the wood, the steel, the finishes in that building for a new building with a new customer or the same customer down the road. If you layer it on top of the ability to create a digital twin, you can always see your portfolio of materials available to you and available to others. This is where things like blockchain can be used to understand the provenance of the material and allow us to know where the material or product is and when it may become available for the next project. Obviously, this is sort of very early stage technology and concepts, but we are working on it and we're exploring it with our current clients. And this, we believe, is where the industry is heading. And in reality, it changes how you even start to design a project. We're no longer designing for an end-of-life usage. We're designing for continued usage of that material.
Thank you for those insights and examples, Stephen. Indeed, it is vital that we consider how to bring our existing buildings up to the new standards as well. And the more we can modernize with sustainable retrofits and repurpose those buildings, the more than we can reduce carbon emissions due to new construction. So it's really inspiring. Before we go, I know Perkins & Will has developed and refined best practices for helping clients re-enter buildings safely and adapt to new working models. What else should building owners, developers, and executives consider in their recovery efforts in the next year or two? And what should they be planning for longer term, say in the next 10 to 20 years?
I mean, the world around us the speed of change has been increasing year on year. I mean, just look at the technology we're using now to do this event. The pandemic has shown us that we don't know what's around the corner, but we do know it will be different. Technology and data truly allows us to react at speed because we have access to the information that we need. We need to make decisions at the time when we need them and ideally look at predicting potential scenarios, and this is where we're heading. I'm a big Formula One fan, and it's inspiring seeing how they operate and develop those remarkable cars. The winning car in any year is as close to perfection as it can be. But if the designers and engineers don't improve upon and refine their cars based on the new information and new regulations, it won't be the best car next year. Therefore, the teams at the top look for innovation and marginal gains. They examine every component of the car to make it better. Maybe only 10% of the components can be made better that year, but the gains made from those account for more than 10% improvements in the performance. This is how we need to think about the built environment so that we can achieve hyper performance. We need to have new technology to allow us to do this, and we're starting to get that technology, and that's really, for me, truly exciting.
I love this analogy on making great gains through small changes. So this is truly the key to hyper efficiency. And at Schneider, we help customers achieve hyper efficiency through actionable data provided by our applications, by our analytics, and our digital services. So by providing visualized data and integrating data for building, power, space, and occupancy, and microgrids, building owners and operator staff can easily identify and resolve areas of risk and leverage opportunities for improvement. Well, I think that we can agree that the buildings of today need to quickly become the buildings of the future. And the technology is available now. The goal is clear. We need to create buildings that expect the unexpected, that can pivot quickly to changing demands and support human and climate health. And by partnering together, we provide added value to our customers in providing a roadmap to sustainable, resilient, hyper-efficient, and people-centric buildings. Thank you for joining me today, Stephen, and I look forward to working together on our joint vision in the years to come. Thank you to our viewers, and I encourage you to learn more about buildings of the future in the Innovation Hub and our expert learning sessions. Thank you very much.